rank orderless strategy number 1. The way the NRMP Match works, it favors the applicant. So the first rule is rank programs in the order of their acceptability to you, not in the order in which you think you're acceptable to the programs. So this basically means that the focus is on you. And so it means that do not look at what your chances are of getting into the program. Look at where you feel you're going to be most happy working for your residency training. Rank orderless strategy number 2. So here are some factors about the program and the hospital that I feel are important when you try to decide where you're going to be placing a program in your rank order list. The first one is location. Cost of living especially. So, if you live in a high cost of living area, you're going to have to make sure that the salary that you're going to get is going to allow you to save enough and support yourself during residency. Especially if folks have family, you may need to look for your spouse's work probably, or children. You need to make sure that there's good schooling for them. So those are some factors that are important. Especially because you're going to be having to reach the hospital at all odd times, either like before sunrise and after sunset. So you have to make sure the traffic is tolerable, you're not wasting time with traffic, and safe. Program size, if it's too large of a program, this may happen in some of the large university hospitals, 20, 30 or more residents per class. You may find that at some time you're just not going to be able to know your colleagues closely. It's a large program, there's going to be more faculty. You may not have as close an interaction with the attendings as you may want. Some folks do like small size programs just because there's more collegiality. You get to know your colleagues well, maybe hang outside, help each other, and develop much closer relation one-on-one with your attendings. Proportion of U.S. medical graduates versus international medical graduates. So that's also important, particularly for international medical graduates, because you want to be in a program that is very accommodating, very accepting of international medical graduates. What's the right number? No one really knows. It's when you do these interviews, that's when you'll get a sense of how open the program is to working closely with international medical graduates. Visa sponsorship, of course, J1, H1 visa. So that's going to be an important factor to look at when deciding when to place program in the rank order list. Work environment, collegiality. So that's what, you'll kind of glean at when you go for your residency interviews. Future. So you also have to think about your future. What fellowship opportunities are present in-house, or does a program do a good job of helping residents get into fellowship positions outside that residency? Should a program that has in-house fellowships be more desirable than a program that does not have fellowships that you're looking for, but maybe might have a bigger name? If you have a certain subspecialty in mind, and if that program has fellowships, should we make that program more desirable to you? Because it's kind of well known that once you're in a residency program, there is at least a little more preference for internal applicants than external applicants. But at the same time, some folks think of it as, I've been here for 3 years or so, and I would like to explore other programs, which is fine also. So there's no one clear-cut answer, but if you're very much like, I have a family, I can't be moving every few years, maybe an in-house program that offers in-house fellowship that you're looking for would be a better choice. Now, the first question is, who decides the name or the fame or the prestige of the hospital? Yes, there is a U.S. News ranking. Some of you might have a look at that. But the ranking is more about the quality of care provided. There's no ranking of the clinical teaching that happens at these residency programs. So In general, the name and fame doesn't really matter. Once a program is ACGME certified and in having a good number of applicants and also very acceptable board pass rate, I would say that they have very uniform requirements for you, like so many procedures you need to do, so many patients you need to see, I guess, so many rotations you need to do. That's kind of all regulated by ACGME. So there's not going to be much difference in training, whether you train at one hospital or the other. The name and fame does make sense when you're looking for a research career, because in those settings, university hospitals, where teaching hospitals that have very strong research opportunities, research resources, if you do have a research career in mind, I really feel that kind of research-oriented program will help you network with other researchers and get you into much better research career options than working in a community hospital or working in a hospital that doesn't have as many researchers and so forth. Residency it's a very difficult time. You need to make sure you have all the support you can from friends and family, and having someone in the residency whom you know, it really helps you transition very easily into residency. Now, word of caution is that many students have been misled by programs, faculty members who send all these letters that they would be ranked high enough to match. Sometimes it's called a love letter, really. And there are these situations where many did not match with those programs. So what happens is kind of like a game that gets played. If you want to read more about it, I did make a video about why a program tends to benefit by sending out these kind of love letters, but it may not really benefit you. So be very careful try not to be misled by greeting cards or flowers or whatever you might get from the programs after you interview. The next strategy is, of course, you have to list enough programs. Lastly, once you of course, you're going to certify your list, so don't forget to do that. But if you make a change, you must recertify it. So please keep that in mind, because that's very important. Unless you recertify it, the changes that you make are not going to be captured, not going to be saved by the rank order.